Hi everybody, Mature Simmer here. So back here in Tuscany, just continuing to work away. I went ahead and got another tree over to the sawmill so that I can continue getting the floor tiles moving along. That should put me in pretty good shape soon, I would hope. Alright, so at this point I need 16,000 floor tiles. We're about 2,000 short, because if you remember here, we're basically, we've got piles of 1,000. And so the back row has 8. I need the other 2,000 here. We're basically getting 2 floor tiles for every individual that I have. So 90 to 180. I moved 1,000 liters over, which is a pallet of the long planks. And that, in theory, should get me where I need to be. Because I already had some. I think I had like 119. So we should be in pretty good shape with that. I've stopped the sawmill for now. But, I've got 21,000, almost 22,000 liters that I put in. So there was a big elm tree over there in that clearing. I took that out and brought that over to the sawmill. I thought that would just be the simplest thing to do at this point as I try to top things off. So everything else should be pretty good. So I'm going to rest for the day and we'll see where things stand in the morning. So we are still not ready to harvest any of our fields. Unfortunately, that's kind of the situation. Right now I'm leaving 11 and 1 alone. I'm going to do a quick check around the farm, make sure I don't have any issues. Alright, heading over here. Hoping I'm good. Alright, I do have full piles. So, we're going to go ahead and get that order filled and get that done. So I'm going to go ahead and grab my truck here. And we'll just give ourselves 16,000. Not that I'm able to do anything other than that, but this way we are certain that we are just getting what we need and no more than that. So there we go. Well, the question is going to become, am I going to get credit? Because this sometimes happens. You can see 15,999, but hopefully it'll give it to us. So those floor tiles are going to Santo Spirito Market, which is literally right across the street here. So that is a good thing. Wondering if I need to go there. Maybe. There we go. So we're going to hope for VIP level 6 that we get a green at the end of this. Sadly, we do not. But what I will be able to do, that's the nice thing with the limiters, I'll just be able to grab one when something appears, but I'm going to have to wait for the factory to keep going, and it's doing that. We're at 137. So it's going to take a portion of today to get through there, but sadly didn't quite make it. So we need one more liter and we'll have that first piece done. My greenhouses are doing their thing, so just have to keep those moving along, but we've got a long way on those, but just wanted to check before I advanced some time again. Alright, so I am literally going to grab one tile. That way, if we need more, we won't have given 1,000 away. I was going to back up, but we'll just go that way. So that should then, there we go. Fill limit of 1 liter's been reached. And then we just need to get over here. And we should be done very quickly. And there we go. So we are green. Sold 1 floor tile. So first level 6 order is in the books. Alright, so the potatoes are going to take a bit of time. So a pallet of potatoes here is 700 liters. So I have 2,800 liters. You can see we got 64 liters of fried potatoes, but you can see the pace is not the fastest. We're making a liter every 10-15 seconds. Like, it's going to take a bit. We've still got 20,000 liters of potatoes. You know, we've got our onions, we've got vegetable fat that we made. So I've taken that off of the output here. I did go ahead and try to like turn it back in so it could store up, but then all it does is throw it out. So I think I'm just gonna have to keep an eye on it and then just feed it more vegetable fat at the appropriate time, and then I should be okay, I would think. So we'll see how that all goes, but you can see we're down to 533 vegetable fat right now, and basically the problem is like productions like this will output when they have the amount that they can give, and so, you know, I don't know if the vegetable fat is also 700 or if it's 1,000. No, it's also 700. So if I put more in, it just gives me the pallet right back out. So that obviously isn't working the way we'd like. But taking a look at the orders, there's nothing else I need the pallet truck for right now other than the tomatoes and lettuce. So lettuce is getting, it's not full, but probably by the morning, you know, it'll be closer. I think I could still get to the next day easily, or the next month, because I haven't moved any lettuce yet, and I still haven't filled up, and I think it's been running for months and months. But, you know, my biggest challenge there, to some degree, is just, you know, I still have to keep buying seeds and fertilizer for these things, but they are, you know, I'm not hitting my bonuses and other things like that. So I think last time, too, I realized I might not have enough olive oil, but olive oil is for level 7, so at some point I'll probably run some more olives over, try to figure out what I really have. But once again, I can't deliver it and get credit for the VIPs until we clear level 6. Alright, let's see if we can get by him now, because the vehicles do tend to all be a little bit slower. So I'm going to get over, I'm going to pick up the lettuce, I'm going to get it over to the delivery point, and I'll see you there. Alright, so actually I loaded up the lettuce and then realized that's not till the next level. So I just needed to clear the space, so I'm going to use this location, which is just storage, to store it. And we'll just keep offloading it. We don't have nearly enough tomatoes to worry about it. So I'm going to go ahead and leave the truck here. Moved some fabric over here from the spinnery, and you can see we're getting close to another pallet of fabric, and we have one pallet of clothes out. So I need 4,000 liters, again, not until next time, but if I can keep going and keep ahead, that's good. Potatoes are churning out. We've got another 700 liters, but clearly the fried potatoes are going to take quite some time to produce. But in this new day, still not quite there. I think tomorrow is going to be harvest day. Alright, so we're getting close. Should have another pallet here in the morning, now that we're at the morning, but we can see for some of our fields we are finally ready to go. So let's get harvesting. So the biggest thing, and this is, you know, one we've been waiting for, obviously, is just to get to this point. There's a lot of waiting with the VIP orders at this point, because we just have the reality that the production process takes as long as it's going to take. So, doing the best we can, but I'm going to get these fields done up here first. So yeah, looks like we've got, what, 4, 5, 6, 7? So we got about 4,900 liters of potatoes, fried potatoes out there. Again, we can deliver those at some point, so as it starts to fill up, you know, I'll maybe go ahead and do that. I mean, I could also just push things off and you know, go and let things go from there as well. Alright, let's see. We'll get this disconnected. We'll come around, we'll connect up, and we are then going to start working on these wheat fields. Whoops. Not quite in line here. Get ourselves opened up. Alright, and I do not need a straw swath. There's nothing that's requiring straw right now. We're getting close on the milk. We're at 60,000, and again we need 77,000, so I do need to run some more TMR over at some point as we're harvesting, so I'm going to be topping that off, or, well, putting some over there. Time to get going here in the hills of Tuscany. Alright, but at this point, we are definitely making some dents in the level 6 situation here, but obviously we're also progressing ahead several months as we waited for this wheat to get going. So there's going to be some decisions to be made once this is done, and we'll be able to start thinking about those decisions a little bit just once we even start seeing what the result is from these few fields up here, for example. So we need 175,000 liters of wheat. The question is, am I going to be able to do that off of all these fields or not? You know, so does more wheat need to go in? Will I be able to immediately kick into canola? If I can kick into canola and I have enough wheat, how many fields do I plant with canola? And then, you know, and then I can start on the other crops, because again, 176,000 of triticale, 143,000 of spelt. I think that's going to need full fields. So it's definitely going to take some time to work through all these orders. But that, again, is part of what I expected as I came over here to Italy, and why we're operating the way we are, and just telling the VIPs, oh, are we full already? Well, goodness, we are. So let me go ahead and get my grain cart. But at this point, what I'm going to start doing is I'm going to start filling the need for wheat right away. You know, there's a possibility in the future that maybe I'll get a bigger trailer, but at this point, because I'm just not sure what the dollar situation is going to be, so let me get through here to my location, because I think I've got the trailer over from when I was putting potatoes in. So yeah, you can see it over there. So we'll head across our potato field toward our chicken barn, our root cellar, all of our other stuff, our onion greenhouse. We've got our sawmill, floor tile space. So definitely a lot of what's going on. Floor tile space is the floor tile factory. It's probably a little more accurate. You know, yeah, it's going to be a little bit of, you know, it's going to be a few loads to get things done, that's for sure. But right now, I've got more time than I have money. I started here, for those who are joining along the way. First off, welcome. Thanks for taking some time and coming along on this journey with me here in Hills of Tuscany and the VIP series. But we started here in Tuscany with over 8 million euros. So I have been investing a lot to build up this operation. And so knowing that the orders and the demands were going to get pretty crazy pretty quickly, instead of doing the default, which is 4 levels that you see at a time, I did make adjustments to the mod to only show 2 levels, and this is exactly why. You can see just kind of the level of work it's going to take here. Now, this is an 18,000 liter trailer, so I'm going to need basically 10 trips to go sell this, but you know, again, I'm able to tend to use some automation as I get things done just to keep going, because again, this series is less about doing the actual work per se manually, because I do that in FOC. I'm not allowed to really use automate. Well, I can use a helper now in FOC. In FSN we could not, but I tend to usually do all that work manually, and then what that turns into is I don't necessarily have a huge desire to keep doing that for something like this, which is a substantial amount of work. I mean, we've got a lot of fields here that we're turning over, and that's just for one order. So the wheat needs to go to the grain mill. All right, and the grain mill is tucked over here, if you recall. So we're just going to have to, make some runs from there. But I'm going to get these fields done, and then we'll head over here. I've got this one still planted that's going to come ready with some more wheat, but that should be, I'm hoping that'll be enough. So let me head on over, because I'm pretty sure we're going to be really close to being full here. But we're going to see how much of this 177,000 we get off this field, because I think this field's about a third or a fourth the size of 77. So that will give me some information, because I don't know that we're going to get a ton off the two little fields next to this. Now again, we'll see what the harvester does and how courseplay maneuvers around this, but my guess is at this point, we're on the field, and it's going to go ahead and just treat that as such, and it won't cut in as it did before. I was going to say, I don't know why it's going so far back, but okay, I'm sure it's just operating from a position of perhaps, we need a bit, or might have had a bit of grain on the edge, and that way it was just making sure that I could get it. But now it's starting on the second pass here. And we should certainly, I think, have enough now where I will be ready to head off, because I'll be full. It's always a challenge to drive. And this is also part of it. Like, I'm still manually doing the driving. I don't have everything fully automated like I've done at times in the past where I do use auto drive. These roads are just a bit challenging. Let's see, there we go. Alright, so that is ready. And I will now take this and deliver it over to the grain mill. So I am going to keep working this. I got an early start today intentionally, knowing that my fields, or a good portion of my fields, would be ready. So I am hoping I can do what I need with the wheat today before we get to the nightfall and proceed from there. But I will go off and now continue to do that work, and we'll be back at some point, either when all the fields are done or when I think I'm going to be fulfilling the final order for the VIPs, but we'll let you know where things stand at that point. So I'm going to keep working at this, and I'll see you in a bit. So, as is typical, I always figure out something else that I need to do and jump on camera earlier than expected. So, going to go ahead, I left the cart, I've emptied the harvester, because obviously it was waiting by the time I got back. It's continuing to start the next load. I am now going to get some feed over to the cows. So we're going to come over here, because again, we should have plenty for the TMR mixer. Just the question of how much do we go ahead and do. So I have got the forage wagon sitting in here, because I don't need it for anything else. But the real question ends up being, what do I think I need to put in there? Because if I can avoid wasting TMR, that will help. Let's take a peek. So I've got 3,000 liters left. We're at 60,000. You know, the problem is it's chewing up a good amount. But I think I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put in 30,000. You know what, I'm going to put in 27,000, because what I'm doing is, whoops, I am going to see if I have 30,000, you know, now that I'm going from 60, can I get what I need off of that? Or if not, hopefully then I can get a better gauge of what it's going to take. But within the facility itself, we've got, you know, 100,000 liters still that I can use for feed. And obviously TMR is specifically cattle feed. So, you know, you could make the argument, like, just feed it to them, let them make as much milk as they make, and then it'll be ahead. But if I don't need milk and I don't need other things, you know, I can save some time and save some cost by doing what I'm doing. So I'm going to get in here, I'm going to go ahead and feed, and then I will jump back to the wheat. So I will see you in a bit. I am back, as this is likely going to wrap up my day pretty soon. So I have been hard at work doing the wheat. We're finishing the last field over here, 77. You can see 13,968 is what we need. I don't think I'm going to have it. So I am going to have to wait until the next day for the other two fields to pop, and then we'll definitely be good, because I mean, we'll probably be close to 10,000 or whatever. Maybe not, maybe we'll have 5,000, but we're down to less than a full load though, which is pretty good. Even this close from the grain mill to here, I could not run and dump and come back before the harvester was full. So wheat is just a bit crazy, but yeah, we can see it finished the field. So whatever we have is obviously going to be everything we can possibly get off of this field. But I went in about 100,000 or something to go when I moved over here, so that means we basically got 90,000 or something off this field. And wheat is, once again, a bit higher in productivity than the others, but yeah, it shouldn't be insane. It shouldn't be double. Oh, wow. I only got 2,000, so we really kind of ended up with stuff. Because, yeah, if I finished early enough, I had been debating going ahead and maybe starting to plant if I somehow got to the amount. But at this point, what I'm going to do, I think I'm going to bring myself over to 22, because that is then going to be the one I'll finish with as far as getting everything I need completed here for the order. But that way, when I'm working 9, I'm close to the farm and I can get stuff in to, you know, go ahead and get it in to the silo. Actually, now that I think about it, I have enough in the silo to fill it, but, you know, either way, I've got to go to tomorrow. Let's see, let me go to the next one, because this just goes up into the little town and the village. This one gets me across. But it's been a busy set of days. Once again, just to recap, you know, we got the floor tiles done and delivered. We cleared out the lettuce so that it can continue to output and not get stuck. We had a little bit of a challenge where, well, I guess that was lettuce, where I grabbed something and then realized I can't do it for the next one. We've continued to keep the clothing production chain moving. So we should be in excellent shape for that. But I will absolutely next time be finishing up the wheat, and may actually, you know, just do that and be done. And then, you know, I'll probably show the delivery or whatever, but I may start the harvest. I don't know. We'll see what I get into, but then planting canola is next. So I'm thinking just wondering if I do the large field in canola and maybe one other. That should get me the 70-some thousand, because if I could go ahead and then put other crops on the other fields, that would just give me a good head start. I think I'm still going to be waiting for things like the greenhouses and the fried potatoes, though. So even though this kind of moves along and so forth, I just think the throughput of that is so slow to some degree that I don't know that I have a better option. Alright, so this is the field. So I'm going to back this up a bit. Alright, and then we'll come and grab it, and then at least I will be set for whenever it is ready to go. But at this point, floor tiles are done. You know, that was done. We've got that little bit left of wheat. And then, you know, tomatoes and all the others will start moving along. Let's take a look before I wrap up. Where is milk sitting? Because again, I refilled. All right, we're at 63,000. Wow. And I had moved 27,000 over, so I had 30,000. So it's kind of doing half. So we may still be a little bit short, because we may only get to like 75,000 before we run out. That is just amazing to me that it has that much going on. So the chickens have hatched quite a few, so I think we might be full over there. Yeah, it's 2,000 chickens, so we are full up with our birds. You'd think there'd be a lot more here, but oh well. It doesn't animate that many, and again, that'd be a lot, and then people would complain that their system was not running well and so forth. But as always, I'm going to head over here to the patio. I hope you've enjoyed the day. Well, the few days on the farm. I mean, we've progressed through several months again, but made a good amount of work and taken a care, and made a good dent in level 6, as I said earlier. If you've not gone ahead and dropped a like for the video, and certainly if you've enjoyed it, you know, please give me a comment too, or just drop an emoji for engagement. That helps and moves things along and helps the word get out of what's going on here. But I would be grateful if you would consider that, and if you're not a subscriber, if you would consider that. Would love to have you along as well. I will see you next time.